Good evening, Wyoming, and thank you for joining us. I'm Sloan Dickey.
I'm Stephanie Chavez. Tonight, the Casper City Council voted against the International Property Maintenance Code. All councilors in attendance voting not to move forward with that proposed code.
That code voted down at the start of tonight's meeting. Dozens of Casper residents approaching the podium tonight expressing their concerns with such an ordinance.
And tonight we're being joined live on set with Casper City Councilman Dallas Laird. Dallas, thank you for being here tonight. A lot of passionate people approaching the podium this evening.
Well, you know, the good Wyoming people came out. I love it when Wyoming people come out because you know what they do? They come out, they get in your face, they tell you the truth, and they sit down, and they're usually right. And they were right tonight, and we listened to them very intently. That was a very bad code for Casper, Wyoming. We need the Casper code. We don't need any international codes. We need to do this right, take care of our own people, and not penalize them because they don't have a lot of money.
Every final project has an original intent. What was the original intent of this law? Obviously, at the end, people were quite angry with the Fourth Amendment and being able to come onto people's property.
Well, the parts about the code that they didn't like, and I agreed, was that some code enforcement officer may be able to just go into your house and look around and search it. The other one is that they didn't notice that was part of the penalty provision, which is if the code people say you now have to paint your house starting today, if you don't have it painted, they can give you a ticket for each day it goes unpainted. So let's say it took you 90 days to get it painted. You could conceivably have 90 misdemeanors at $750 a piece. That's no good. And it's no good that somebody can search your house in Wyoming. Nobody needs their houses searched in Wyoming. So that's all coming out of it, and we're going to rewrite a code specifically for Casper.
Now, you mentioned that Casper needs a Casper code, not an international code. What's the first step in making sure that that Casper code fits everybody's pleasure?
I think, truthfully, tonight, the people that came and spoke, I think, wrote it for us in many ways by telling us what they thought was fair and what people in this town could afford. We don't need to turn Casper into a big HOA where you, if you don't like the color of your neighbor's paint, you can make them change it. We don't want that. And if they pass that code, as one lady said, every house in town is a violation.
Well, quickly before we go, what about protecting the tenants of people who are renting houses?
That was in a different area. The people who are tenants, that protection's coming in. That's something aimed at landlords to make sure that these tenants are protected and they get what they paid for.
So clearly this isn't the end of this debate, even though maybe that law was voted down.
This is not the end, but it's the end of anybody being able to come in and search your house, or you're getting fined a lot of money every day for having chipped paint or a little rust on something.
All righty, Dallas, thank you so much for being here tonight. And you may be noticing some smoke here in Casper. Now, although other wildfires have caused more smoke to fill the air, the Spring Creek fire is still impacting what we're breathing in.
And the human-caused wildfire formed in Colorado. It's already burned more than 60,700 acres and destroyed over 104 homes. While this fire hasn't impacted any of Wyoming in a devastating way, the community is advised to be aware of smoke. While it's hard to avoid the outdoors, it's important that certain people take precaution.
It's those with chronic lung disease of any type. It may make it worse. It could trigger an asthma attack. As dry as it is in this part of the country, this may be an ongoing problem on and off for the summer, especially if the fires are to our southwest, because our prevailing wind direction is southwest.
And the Casper Fire Department responded to a structure fire late Monday night that caused some power lines to go down. Officials say the fire was at an unoccupied home on the corner of C and Jackson. And Casper Fire says they're still investigating the cause of the blaze. Firefighters had to navigate some downed power lines, which have now been shut down by Rocky Mountain Power. And fire officials say that's a common occurrence.
There's power service to most structures, and a lot of times those power lines are damaged. They fall to the ground and are still energized. So firefighters have to be aware of that, be very, very cautious about working around that.
And just some sad news this evening out of Fremont County. The Highway Patrol reports that a pedestrian was hit and killed on the Wind River Reservation over the weekend. According to officials, the woman was wandering on the side of 17 Mile Road at around 11 o'clock when she walked into the road in front of a car with her hands above her head. Officials say the car attempted to avoid the pedestrian. However, she was hit by a car moving at 55 miles an hour. The pedestrian died on the scene, but no one else was injured in the accident.
After raising $4.8 million through grants and donations, the Wyoming Medical Center is ready to get underway with building the new Masterson's Place. For $45 a night, the hospitality home will offer short and long-term accommodations for patients and families of Casper's medical facilities. It's located directly behind the hospital. The current Masterson's Place, however, is located on East Yellowstone Highway. It is now up for sale. If that building is bought before the construction of the new building, patients and families will be staying at a local hotel for the same price. The groundbreaking ceremony is set for next Monday, July 9th. They're expecting it to be complete with the new building by next June.
When it all came down to how much it would cost, it made more sense to build a new building. And so our foundation board of directors met with some architects and we decided to go ahead and get this construction started. It's really needed in this community. We serve the whole state of Wyoming and we can bring people from all over the state to come to Casper with a beautiful facility like this. I think more people will come here for their medical treatment and we can help them live healthier lives that way.
All right, Eric, we had a dry and hot start to the day. A little bit of much needed rain definitely coming through the region.
Yeah, Eric, it cooled down quite a bit this afternoon and then warmed up just like that, like the rain never happened almost.
That's right. Now, some places, very lucky, I guess you could say.